In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Well, we are at your service this semester with, in fact, the idea that your study, your course this semester is something like linguistics in language teaching. Okay, we are going to, in fact, work with the theories of language and how we can apply it to language acquisition and then to, in fact, the development of language 2 or L2. Okay, so we have to begin with something called Chomsky's Universal Grammar. Okay, this is the name of the book, okay, written about the theory of Chomsky as related to, in fact, language. Okay, so the name of the book, as you see, is Chomsky's Universal Grammar, an introduction, and this is the third edition, written by, in fact, two important figures in second language acquisition. One is V.J. Cook, and the other is Mark Newman, as you see. Okay. In order for us to understand, we have to go and check what we mean by universal grammar. Okay, let us begin it with the introduction at page 1. Okay, this is the introduction that you see on the nature of universal grammar. If you actually go to the first paragraph of this book, you will find 3 lines to the end of paragraph 1. The writers say the aim of this book is to convey why Chomsky's theories of language still continue to be stimulating and adventurous, and why they have important consequences for all those working with language. So this means that Chomsky's idea of language is an important conception about the nature of language. Why? Because we want to teach English as a second language. So we have to know what we mean by language itself. When we study Chomsky's Universal Grammar, you understand more than one language. You can understand all languages together, okay, in one, in fact, way that appears to be sort of similar for all languages. Okay, so we want to understand what it means by universal grammar. Okay, so in order for us to understand, we have to say what this book is about and what this book is not about. So paragraph 2 actually wants to say what type of ideas we are going to take from this book and what kind of ideas we are not supposed to take from this course. Let us see. Paragraph 2 says, this book is intended as an introduction to Chomsky's UG theory, universal grammar theory, for those who want a broad overview with a sufficient detail to see how its main concepts work. Okay, so we want to have a broad view. We don't want to have a detailed understanding of Chomsky's ideas. Okay, we want to have a short review of Chomsky's ideas because, as we say, these ideas are related to language acquisition, and these ideas are related to, in fact, second language acquisition and learning, okay, which is your field of study. But we are not going to work into the details as the book says, okay? Rather than for those who are specialist students of syntax. If you are students of syntax, nahwa, okay? These students are going to work with other textbooks, not this book. This book is intended for those students like you who want a short understanding of Chomsky's ideas, okay? And they want to use them in their language in their language enterprise, in their job, okay, later on. So we have to understand something like this. For those, in fact, who want to have a better understanding, like the students of syntax, like the students of general linguistics, okay, they have to go to books like, for example, line 1, 2, 3, paragraph 2, line 1, 2, 3, 4, Ager, okay, 2003, okay, and Hornstein et al. 2005. Okay? These are good sources for those. We don't want to go to details of those materials. So we want, as you see, a short, let us see, a sketchy look, a short look, okay? A broad overview, let it make clearly, yes, a broad overview of the materials. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Okay, about the roadmap, of this book, we have to go to, in fact, paragraph 1, 2, 3. Paragraph 3 is, as you see, beginning with this opening chapter, okay? This opening chapter, paragraph 3. This is the roadmap of the book. We have to work with this roadmap before, in fact, continuing to understand the nature of Chomsky's Universal Grammar. So paragraph 3 says something like this. This opening chapter sets the scene by discussing some of the general issues of Chomsky's work on the notion of universal grammar, or UG, okay? So it is like this. So it just sets the scene, okay? It means that it provides a short introduction for us to know where we are in this book, okay? Following this, chapter 2 continues the discussion, discusses, as the book says, the central concepts of the framework and how these relate to Chomsky's views on language acquisition, okay? So we want to study chapter 1 and then chapter 2 up to now, okay? What about other chapters? We have to wait, okay? As the book says, the next 2 chapters provide an introduction to the syntax of government and binding, okay? We don't want to go to these 2 chapters. Why? Because they are difficult for the students of, in fact, second language acquisition like you, okay? Second language learning like you, okay? It is not good for ELT students like you, okay? Why? Because it is, as the book says, it is related to the students of syntax, okay? So chapter 1 and 2, we are going to study these 2 chapters. Chapter 3 and 4, we are not supposed to read chapters 3 and 4, okay? Now let us go to chapter 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines to the bottom of the page. Okay, we are still on page 1. Okay, chapter 5 looks at the Chomsky's approaches to first language acquisition. We want to understand what is the idea of Chomsky as related to our mother tongue, okay, to our mother tongue. اللغة الأم, اللغة الأم, okay. So, in order for us to understand the second language, we have to first look at the first language that we all humans have, our first language. How did we develop our first language when we were 1 year old, or 2 years old, or 3 years old at that time? For me, it was something that I learned Farsi. For you, it was something that you learned Arabic. Okay? You learned Arabic, and I learned Farsi. Okay? So, how was it that when I was 5 years old, or you were 5 years old, you were able to talk your mother tongue? Okay? We are going to talk about these matters in chapter 5. And as you see, well, the next chapter. So we study chapter 5 in order to go to chapter 6. Well, chapter 6. Chapter 6 at this, then chapters, the first language acquisition, yes. Chapter 6 at second language acquisition. Okay, so we study chapter 5, which is first language acquisition, and then we go to chapter 6, which deals with, in fact, second language acquisition. If you want to have a good look, let us go to, in fact, the table of the contents of this book. Okay, let's see. Okay, so as you see the table of contents now, we study number 1, the nature of universal grammar, chapter 1. Okay, all the in fact discussions on chapter 1. Okay, up to page 26 and 7, as you see to the right. Then we go to chapter 2. Principles, parameters, and language acquisition, chapter 2, beginning on page 28, ending on page 60, okay? Where chapter 3 begins on page 61. So from page 28 up to page 60, which is chapter 2, we are going to read these 2 chapters. We are going to study these 2 chapters. Chapters 3 and 4, we are not going to talk about the syntax of government and binding. Of course, it has got lots of things about the structure of English, and sometimes it talks about other languages, including Arabic. This book talks about Arabic as well. Okay, how is it that we have something like Arabic, and the Arabic is as important as all languages around the world? Okay, so when the writers want to say something about the nature of language, maybe they give examples from another language in addition to English. So they go to other languages like your language, Arabic. Okay? Anyway, chapters 3 and 4, where we have structure and movement according to Chomsky's way of looking at language. We are not going to work with these 2 chapters. Well, chapters 5 and 6, yes. Are we going to talk about chapters 5 and 6? We say yes. Why? Because chapter 5 talks about L1. L1, language 1, mother tongues of all human beings. It is important. It is important, and we want to work on it. But more important than chapter 5 is chapter 6, the second language. In this chapter, we look at the second language as related to universal grammar. Chapter 5 and 6 again are related to universal grammar. Okay? Why? Because we are going to understand the nature of this English as a second language. So chapter 6 is so important for us. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to finish it here with my picture. Maybe I decide not to have my picture for the next presentations. Okay? Or maybe I'm going to have it for today. I'm going to forget about it with my picture for the next ones. Let me see. If you say it is good with the picture, I will continue with it. If you say we don't need the picture, okay, we do without. Thank you very much.